Hey guys, Phil here, not at Woods Tree Farm today. We're out for a farm visit. We are at Sweet Providence Farm just outside of Floyd, Virginia, and I'm here with the owner, John Houston. Say hey.
Hey.
And we're going to talk a little bit about his farm today, so follow along. Let's have a little fun. Here we go. So, John, you are a second generation tree farmer, right? Your dad started this in '99, I think you told me?
That's right, yeah.
And what has been kind of your story since you've taken it over?
Yeah, so I was helping out as a teenager, and then we figured out how to make a little bit of money even starting 2008. We had a lot of nursery stock that we had to eliminate because we weren't selling it then, but my dad kind of never was quite as interested, and it was making me a little bit of money, and then things turned out that the money worked where I could get a loan, sort of take on the family business, and there's a huge advantage having that extra 9-10 years head start, so I could sort of learn from all of the mistakes my dad made and sort of try to improve on it, and then have time on my side, so the trees were about ready to harvest about the time I needed to make a living at it. So.
And you've got how many acres here?
30.
30 acres, so you've got about an estimated 30,000 trees in the ground, I think you told me?
Yeah, give or take. So.
Yeah. And so you took this over. It wasn't always a Christmas tree farm, you mentioned, but over the past 10 or so years, you guys have kind of been working to make that conversion. It's 10, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of pan around and give you a look. We're on a hillside here, and way up the hill, there's trees all the way up that way. My kids and my dog are up running around that way. And I guess, tell us what kind of trees you have planted here on your property.
Mostly Fraser fir. They do pretty good in this climate, and I get a lot of pretty high demand on that wholesale wise too. But we've got some white pine, Scotch pine, and concolor fir growing around too. Gives people a little bit of variety. And but Fraser fir probably, if they're a hard to grow tree in certain climates, but if you can get high enough elevation or far enough north, usually you can make them grow okay.
So as we're walking up the hill here, I had the observation there's kind of different trees scattered throughout. We noticed some firs, and there were some concolors, and there were some white pines down the way. There's actually a big row of white pines up behind me, and it continues up that way. So I asked John on the way up here, what's kind of the rhyme or reason for the layout?
So when the farm was first planted, it was somewhat random because my dad had hired out a lot of it to be planted with the tractor, and so it was just kind of long rows of one tree until they ran out, and then started using another tree. But over time, we've started implementing planting the fir trees more on the slopes. They do better if their roots drain better when they get the rain. And then we sort of just fill in with the spruces and the pines. They can handle bottomland a lot better. So basically, wherever the firs grow, they get the first pick on the better soil.
We had to move back to the building here because there was a whole bunch of wind noise up on the hill. So hopefully that footage up there came out all right. But down here at the building, we're just talking about kind of the Christmas operation, and there's 1,000 to 1,500 trees, John was telling me, that he sells from this property, and then they also have a tree lot in the city. But I was trying to get a sense of like what it's like to run a business that's moving that many trees, because we only did 140 last year. So I guess just recap kind of your staffing and kind of the assignments that you have the different staff doing during Christmas season.
Yeah, so obviously the weekends are much busier, so we usually Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, is the busiest day, and so I'll have as many as 10 guys working here to keep up with the demand. I even have to have like one guy to help park cars just to make sure we can fit everybody in here. And then I'll usually have 2 guys out cutting, like we'll get them a 4-wheeler and a trailer and a chainsaw, and they'll go out and cut most of the trees for customers as they just pick them out. Some people will cut their own trees down, but especially on the busy days, it helps to just sort of get people in and out a little faster. And then we have a crew of guys making sure the tree fits the stand, liming the tree up a little bit if they need it. We've got a shaker that sort of helps clean out any of the loose needles. And then we have a couple guys that will tie the trees on the people's cars, or bale the tree up and tie it on their cars. So usually if we can just get guys to focus on one task, we can usually get the customers in and out in pretty good timing.
So John, just to share a little bit of feedback for the viewers here. First, what's your favorite part of running a Christmas tree farm?
It's probably going to be seeing the actual customers like find the perfect tree, be really excited about it, and even get feedback about how pretty it looks in their house. That's really rewarding. But I got to have a close second, just getting to watch the different generations of trees grow, and you know, start off with a little seedling and then turn into, you know, a big pretty tree. So close second to getting to see the customer actually enjoy it for themselves.
Yeah, have you gotten people send you photos or share them on Facebook and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't try to pry too much, but usually there's a lot of people that are really proud of it, so they'll post stuff on their own accord, and so
yeah, we've gotten a good bit of that too, and that is definitely something that we enjoy. So you've been at this for a few years now. What's something that you would do differently if you had to go back and do it all over again?
It's hard to say, like, I would be completely correct about it, but probably a more abstract answer would be give yourself lots of options in case the market changes, or if your interest changes, you can still, you know, invest in a way that's going to have a high return, because if success is the best motivation, obviously, but if I would have done it over again, at this point looking back, I probably would have planted more trees, just because right now there's pretty high demand, both wholesale and retail, and so I've got to work with what I got with the trees I have, and they take so long to grow. That's a long wait to resupplement your numbers.
So planting more trees is what you would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they take too long to grow, so it's always too late to plant more trees, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
And the last question for everybody here, what would be one or two key pieces of advice you would have for a new Christmas tree farmer just starting out?
Yeah, probably one of the first ones is find a Christmas tree farm that's already in business and doing pretty well, and find a way, whether you have to volunteer or be a customer from them for a little while, or just get in contact with them and find out exactly what it's like and see if it's a good match for you, because if you're having fun, it's not going to feel like hard work, even though it is hard work. So you can kind of get a little bit of experience just from rubbing shoulders with other tree growers. I got real familiar with tree farming just through my state association. So most states will have a association of tree growers, and a lot of them will have like a summer conference or something, so you can network with a lot of people that way. So definitely get to know, build relationships with other tree growers. They're usually pretty happy to give you a lot of the information and tips, and their own past experiences, what they've learned. And there's so much opportunity in the market right now. I don't think anybody's going to be afraid to help you get into business, because at least from what I know from tree growers, they don't really see you as competition. It's more as like an ally or association, just because it seems like the more, especially small scale tree growers there are, the more awareness of a quality Christmas tree buying experience. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to find these tree growers out there that will share some pointers and get you started.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us today, John. I appreciate it. Yeah. Visiting farms is actually something that we didn't do much of at all before we started. So we're playing catch up now, and I appreciate you spending a little time with us and educating us and sharing your knowledge and wisdom. It's awesome. So wish you the best of luck. And if you guys have any questions about John's farm, of course, you can leave those in the comments, and I'll send him the questions and he can answer. That's going to wrap it up for us today. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.